Good Sunday. I'm ready for the weekend. Good Thursday morning. Good Thursday morning. And how are you? How are you today? This is Dr. Yonnette with another episode of Baby Talk. I love, love, love interacting with you and helping your baby, your child, whoever he or she is, at whatever stage they are at, to grow and develop well. After this series of sensory strategies, I want to talk a little bit about building understanding of community and business, and just putting that foundation in your child so he or she develops with the awareness that he can create, he can build, he can succeed. So today we are doing sensory strategies 2. And I want to focus a little bit on, we started talking about avoidance and retreat. And this is avoidance and retreat issue number 2. So you're having your child and you're seeing that in certain instances, he or she is avoiding and retreating. He's avoiding the activity and retreating to someplace else away from what is happening. So here are some of the behaviors that he or she may be demonstrating. He's putting his head down, he is shutting down, he is running away, and when there's a crowd, it might be in school, it might be at home in a crowd, he is just not having it, not participating. And again, we always ask, when we see the behavior, we ask, why is the behavior occurring? So why is this occurring? The child is anticipating that he is going to become overstimulated by the sensation and by the experience that he's going to have. So he is, instead of putting himself in a situation where he loses control, he just avoids it, he doesn't participate, and he moves away. The child is also unaware, or maybe unaware, of the rules. What do I do when I'm in a situation in this big crowd, or when I'm at recess, or when there are people that I don't know? The child may not know what to do in that situation, so he avoids the situation. And then thirdly, the child may not have the motor skills that he needs to participate in the activity, so he retreats. How do you help this child? How do you help your child when he or she is having these experiences, these behaviors? You want to prepare the child for the activity. And how can you do that? You can use a social story. We'll probably do a session on social stories so you understand a little more about what I'm talking about. But use a social story to help the child understand, prepare the child for the activity. You want to use positive reinforcements. When the child participates in an activity that he or she would avoid, do positive reinforcement to stimulate participation and to encourage further participation. You want to give the child time to control him or herself. After you have prepared him, give him a little bit of time to get his body, his mind, himself ready for the activity. And then you want to front load the child with practice activities. Let the child practice before you put him into the situation. Give the child the opportunity in a calm, quiet environment to practice what he or she would have to do when he gets into a bigger or a larger social environment. And allow an approach or avoidant pattern. Make sure that the child understands it's okay to take a break. Allow it. It's okay to take a break. Put on a timer, give the child 3 to 5 minutes to take that break, and then return to the activity that is taking place. Okay, so that's avoidance where the child is shutting down or putting his or her head down. What about an avoidance where the child has difficulties with routines and academics? Now, when you have a child who is having difficulties in this area, there are certain internal issues that a child is experiencing. And so you need to really take the time to get to the bottom of the issue. And these are the things that we have found over the years. The child might be lacking adequate skills, academic skills, adequate skills to participate. The child might not be comprehending or understanding what is expected of him or her. And the child may fear being teased or left out or misunderstood when he does what he thinks he should be doing. So those are the internal issues that a child might be struggling with. Now let's look at some of the external issues that a child would have to deal with. There's a change in the physical environment, and that change makes the child feel out of control. And then if there's a change in routine, that also may throw your child off, and then having to wait too long, because remember we talked about some children having difficulties with waiting. So if the child is having to wait too long, that can also affect how the child deals with routines and academics. So the environment for this child might also be very confusing when it comes to crowds and excessive visual and auditory clutter. Lots of visual and auditory information is coming in, and so the child is having difficulties processing all of that at one time. So you also may find that in this situation, the child may have organizational concerns, like the desk is not organized, his backpack is all over the place, the papers and things in his backpack are all over the place. His homework is disorganized, and he can't find a piece here and he can't find a piece there. The dog ate his homework. So the sensory response for this particular child, the sensory strategy that you would like to use, that you may use, is that, and this, let me say that again, the sensory responses and modulation that the child is struggling with may impact how he behaves and focuses on any task that you present to him, how he plays with his siblings at the park, at recess, at PE, wherever it is. You want to be able to address those behaviors. And I am going to continue tomorrow talking a little more about how to address those behaviors and what are proven strategies that will work for your child. Again, I'm always blessed to be able to share with you, share in your experience of raising your child. And I want you to know that you are not alone. Connect with me. Connect with me on Skincare Explosion with Dr. Yonnette. And let's have a chat around how to take care of the issues that you're seeing with your child, and whether or not they're really issues and that they're just developmental experiences that your child is having. Remember, take care of you as you take care of baby. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.